taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Non-boxing conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, we put out a poll. Was it last week? It's like, who had the best debut album? Was it DMX with "It's Dark and Hell It's Hot," or is it Jay-Z with "Reasonable Doubt"?
Womp womp.
So let me actually pull up that poll right now for the results that we got.
So Henny Gosling said, "I'm gonna say Jay early."
he had to get that shit out of the way.
Nah. Explain yourself.
Alright, let me find that damn poll.
I don't even think there was a I can't remember a comment for Jay.
I don't think there was one.
I got it if you want, man. I got it. Looks like it was 94 votes.
Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah. So pretty much out of 95 votes, 70% said DMX, 29.8 said Jay.
Wow.
It's interesting too. And I guess it all depends. Honestly, it really depends on when you actually probably heard "Reasonable Doubt" more than it does with "It's Dark and Hell It's Hot."
But I could agree with those numbers, though. See, those are the type of numbers I was expecting for Lee Wood and Santa Cruz. 70-30. Like, there's enough sane people out there that know better. Like, just like enough people know, like, DMX had a better first album.
Yeah, because now, I mean, obviously, if you've heard us talk about "Reasonable Doubt," you've heard me say it before. Reasonable Doubt. The reason why, I mean, it's aged well as an album. I will say that, but the reason why it's like it's looked down upon it because when it was released in '96, you have to realize 1996 was a crazy year for hip hop. Like it was an insane year. Like there was
one of the craziest, probably.
Yeah, there was classics dropping like.
It's a top 5 year for hip hop. '96.
Yeah, like in '96, it was Death Row, it was Nas, it was the Fugees, especially the Fugees. Good Lord, the Fugees.
Redman, Method Man.
Yeah, the Wu, any Wu album, like like. I mean, like it was like Jay, being East Coast. Like I mean, when it dropped, like I said, I mean, basically you had to know it. Like I mean, most people's first time they heard "Reasonable Doubt" was when they heard "Ain't No Nigga" on the radio, and they used to like block out all the bad words and shit like that when they were singing the hook and shit. When Jazzo was singing the hook.
Yeah, but that whole album had like mad singles. Like they was really trying to make that album blow.
Yeah, they really did. Like, yeah, "Dead Presidents" was the first single. "Dead Presidents," and there was two versions.
All-star video.
Yeah, Biggie.
2 versions of it.
Yeah.
You know what? We made a dope song, but I don't think you guys realize how dope it was. Even though we shot a video and got like all these niggas here from Brooklyn, so you know what? We're gonna make the song again and give it to you.
Yeah, that was the second. It was the Dead Presidents classic though.
I mean, it's classic, but I'm just saying, like, who does that?
Yeah, but like "Reasonable" was so much of an unknown that like I mean, it had Biggie, had Mary J. Blige in there, but Mary J. Blige didn't even appear in the damn video for "Can't Knock the Hustle." That he had to realize, and Mary J. Blige was in a lot of fucking rappers' videos back then. You know what I'm saying? But there was no Mary J. Blige in that video. So it's like because pretty much it was just he was really.
Look, that don't matter though. He got the fucking feature.
Yeah, he got that. He got the Biggie feature.
Like, if there was ever an album that was made to be a classic, that probably wasn't a classic when it was, or that probably truly wasn't a classic, is this album.
Yeah, let's put it this way: if this was released, if it was released like 1 year later, like in '97, it probably would get more the props it did. But in '96. Like I said, I know most people say like, no, Jay is always high. Like, nah, this album was.
It was a good album, but
it was a good album. Yes,
but not even comparing it to anyone else, because a lot of people we like to just say the whole year was so fire that this fell through the cracks. it didn't fall through the cracks. It was a good album in a sea of great albums.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have mattered if it would have came out next year. If this would have came out in 97, it wouldn't have mattered because 97 still had fire albums, and this was just a good album. A very good album, actually. I'll give you very good album.
Right.
But as far as a classic, a masterpiece, it just kind of misses like.
Yeah, no.
It's a Martin Murray, Sergio Martinez decision away from a classic.
Because usually, sales obviously are never really indicated on how great an album is left or right. Because there's some horrible albums in rap that have sold, and there are ones that that were great that didn't sell initially, like the aforementioned Illmatic was one of them, obviously. But Illmatic, at least there was a change when that shit came out because it made niggas kind of tighten up lyrically. This was just I will call it a classic. It did age well, but it's not like it wasn't like an instant classic when it dropped, and that's the shit that always pisses me off when I hear it. I'm like, no, this shit was not like that. Like niggas were hearing "Killing Me Softly" more than this shit. Like, yeah.
Nah, this was a classic because it was a propaganda. You literally had the niggas saying, "Look, hey, this was a classic I did, remember?"
And it might have worked on me. It might have worked on me because Jay's probably my goat, and this is probably honestly my favorite album. Just personally, even though I did vote for the DMX album.
See, it worked, but it didn't work good enough because you voted for the better album.
Right. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with the Reasonable. Like, Reasonable Doubt is a great.
I think both albums are classic. So,
yeah, but with the DMX shit ended an era in hip hop that was kind of annoying. Like it annoyed me. The Puffy era,
the shiny suit era.
Yeah, it killed the shiny suit era like for good. Puffy had to come correct. With his next albums. It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, and that one was organic as shit because. DMX, the first time anyone probably heard DMX was on 4321. Dude was like, who's that other nigga in there with Red and Meth and L and Cannabis?
Since y'all both a few years older, let me ask y'all, in terms of meteoric rises, there was Snoop, 50 Cent, Eminem, DMX. Where would DMX rank among? Since y'all were a little older.
DMX was instant. DMX Jay, even with Reasonable Doubt, Jay didn't blow till Volume 2.
Yeah, to Volume 2. But I'm just saying for DMX in terms of when you compare him to the 50 Cent, the Eminem, the meteoric.
He top 5.
The rise.
Jay-Z did. DMX did what Jay-Z did in 3 albums. DMX did it with his first album.
Yeah. DMX ruled 19. When you heard first it was 4321 was the first time, and DMX killed his verse on 4321. It's okay, who the hell is this dark ass nigga wearing fucking ski goggles and shit, rapping aggressively with dogs and shit.
The dog.
Yeah, but once Get At Me Dog dropped, that shit was a rap. DMX had it. I think that was the first single too. Get At Me Dog. Yeah, I'll say something. That shit. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
The niggas got to remember, he was hyping people up on the underground with the Survival of the Illest tour.
He was. And it got to the point where he was probably his performances were outshining everyone on the fucking tour. Jay wouldn't. But these two, Jay and DMX kind of, they kind of rose, But honestly, Jay was probably you could easily say Jay was probably number 2 to DMX in some of those years. You can easily say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most Jay fans don't. Most Jay-Z fans don't like to hear that. But It's Dark and Hell. If I say albums that kind of Reasonable Doubt was a good album, this shit was just fucking ridiculous. Get At Me Dog was raw. Stop Being Greedy was probably the least successful of the singles. That shit was still raw. Rough Riders album probably blew the album up even.
No, it was Rough Riders because I grew up in Hawaii and I was 4th grade, literally. First album, because I used to buy the little singles, $2, $3 Mace album joints.
The maxi singles.
The Mace joints, the Mace, 24 Hours to Live was randomly on there. But when the DMX, I bought that shit when I was 4th grade. you know, the edited version. I would print off the lyrics, bring it to school for the older kids. I would Sharpie off the bad words, like that. That fucking album, that one, yeah, that shit has changed.
Yeah, the Swiss.
Damn, you bringing it back.
Keyboards and shit. Oh man,
It's
yeah.
classic
All the
though.
goons in the jail, you know, just that image. I mean, it just, it was the perfect storm, man.
Yeah, Rough Riders, and then of course, How's It Going Down was the summer jam. Like like
Exactly.
I mean,
I love that song. I'll play that song all the time.
yeah. That's it. All of the DMX singles off that.
That's
shit
what I'm
hit.
saying. Like, it's a true classic. Like, I don't feel like Reasonable Doubt has as many classic songs as DMX first album has.
I think it's. I mean, I'm a Jay-Z stan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love that album, so I think it's comparable in terms of song by song. Maybe.
Shit, nigga, are we gonna do this?
Song by song?
Pull him up, motherfucker, pull him up. No, we doing this, nigga. We gonna do this.
There's no intro, so Can't Knock the Hustle would be the intro.
Hold on, let me pull this shit up, nigga. And I know you Star Trek niggas with your damn nigga nerd processors and light speed shit. Hold on.
Because I did vote for. I mean, I did choose Dark and Hilltop for the reasons I say. Just growing up, you know, just loving the album. Even though I probably still listen to Reasonable Doubt more this day and age, but I mean, y'all like so Jay-Z was kind of like more of a B tier guy when y'all were younger. When y'all were
it depends. But like, the original Doubt era, Dude was not a major player. Like he
wasn't the A-list. Yeah.
No. I mean, if anything, Foxy was on that album, and Foxy probably had more attention than that nigga. It's niggas don't like to hear that though.
But I mean, I love that album. Reasonable Doubt, but it's Dark and Hell's Hot. It's just the impact and it's dark as hell. Like it was dark, it was grimy, and this was prime DMX. Like, dude, this is before his personal problems. This is when he was rapping with Big Pun and all them and Cannabis ciphering and shit.
This is when DMX was super sharp and like some of the best shit he ever spit is on this album. Like probably one of the all-time classic posse cuts with niggas done started something with LOX and Mace.
Hey, Mace was on that though too though.
And then even for my dogs too.
More beef than Islamic Farm. I love that man.
Yeah, they had Mace even spinning grimy on that shit.
Yeah, that was he brought it back to the Children of the Corn Murder Mace on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga barred the fuck out that song. Like that is an all-time top 10 posse cut.
Yeah, because DMX blacked out on niggas.
He blacked out. Everybody killed it.
Yeah,
but he blacked out, so you knew it was his song. But after that, Mace verse stands out the most.
Yeah, but even Styles was that Styles or Sheik Luke should open it up? Wasn't it?
She killed it as an opener.
Yeah.
I mean, Sheik also killed the hook for "Get at Me, Dog" too. Sheik was low key. Like his. I mean, dude, really, his contributions were really underrated to that album.
Yeah.
A classic grimy hook and a classic opening verse. Yeah, like Sheik put in some work on this album.
Yeah, he did.
Just being one of the biggest niggas in the background in the videos.
I'm saying. But yeah.
Right, I got them both up though.
Me too. Me too.
So we gonna do this now.
We can.
Now look, like this is the first ever classic album off. Now, both of you guys stated that y'all feel like Reasonable Doubt's a classic.
I do. Yeah.
And you know what? And I won't argue that, but I feel like it's borderline, maybe 4.5 mics or maybe a 9 album, but I don't think it's a 10. I don't think it's a masterpiece.
So in terms of the mafioso rap, right? There's the Purple Tape. I mean, Reasonable Doubt's got to be around up there with the Purple Tape, no?
No, I don't know. No.
He's like, no.
Fuck no. You serious? I'm this shit really settling in.
Was Ready to Die? Mafia song? I don't even know if you consider that one.
I mean, of course it is. But are we really gonna put Reasonable Doubt up there with fucking the Purple Tape?
No, the Purple Tape. Yeah, it's definitely not. Like I said, you know, and yeah.
If there's classic and there's levels to classic albums, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt is a lower tier classic, and I'm gonna do it, and we gonna go through this, and you'll see why afterwards. And deep, and y'all know. First of all,
Well, why are you saying me, nigga? It's this nigga right here. Like,
oh yeah, this nigga, cause Matt, the fucking DM. I'm about to call this nigga DMX. Pat knows.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't need convincing. Like,
but see, my convincing to you is that this ain't a classic album. My convincing the Pilot is it's not a if it is a classic album, it's not on the same level as Dark and Hell and High.
I don't want to pick apart the rest in peace.
Nah,
great.
It ain't nothing. We just can't knock the hustle. Classic song. Yes or no?
I love that song. So most of these songs for me are going to be a yes for Reasonable Doubt.
Then fine. We'll go.
Can I Hustle?
Is it a classic song? Yes or no?
I picked the intro over that. I picked the DMX intro over it. But
okay then. But DMX intro classic though.
Yeah, it's classic.
It's two classic songs now.
Yeah, that was classic too, though. Yeah, that was classic.
It is. That was a fucking classic. I definitely say that's a yes for me. I'm asking you though. It's a yes, right?
Yes, yes.
That's a yes for Pat, right?
Yeah, Can't Not Hustle is a classic.
Oh, okay. All right, next up, Politics as Usual.
I love that song. But I don't say it's a classic song. Nobody would say it's a classic song, but it's one of my
good song though.
It's a good song. Yeah, it's not classic. It's a good song.
DMX, Rough Riders Anthem.
Of course, yeah.
I personally hate that song, but it has a big
the impact's too much.
Classic.
The impact's too much. I personally hate
too much. Yes, yeah.
All right, Brooklyn's Finest. That's a classic, nigga. Like,
but honestly, this is the Brooklyn's Finest was probably the one. Honestly, this is the Jay-Z Big Collabo song I did not like all that much.
Oh,
I love the Dope better. Well, I mean, I love the Dope.
This was classic when I first heard it. Like,
I thought I love the Dope was a better collabo with those two.
I love the Dope.
Brooklyn's Finest was kind of like. I don't know what it was. It was cool, but I didn't think it was anything like mind blowing.
Brooklyn's Finest is better to me because it's the whole back and forth, and it's like I appreciate y'all don't know how fun it is to write and record them back and forth type songs. Like when you trade in bars and you just trying to out impress the other nigga, all while being cohesive. Like
I've done that before.
Okay, send me the song link you did with that. Then
I don't find it, but I've done it before.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you put it out to the world, nigga. Like, to me, that's better than just niggas just doing the random. Alright, you get 16 bars, you get 20 bars.
No,
I mean that could be dope.
I love the dope. Them niggas was spitting crazy.
I
didn't feel like they were doing it. Like I think it gets hyped up because it's a collabo. It's because Biggie and Jay were doing it. That's why. Yeah,
but it's like in that element. Like I get it with I love the dope was dope. Like don't get me wrong, but like
shit. I mean, I'm not trying to go on a limb here, but maybe Young G's might be a better song than Brook, just in terms of sonically sounding. Even though I think Brooklyn Finest.
Get the fuck out of here, y'all niggas is wild.
I didn't say that shit. You say this nigga like Pilot, nigga.
Pilot, you wildin', nigga. Like, and Young G's ain't bad, but damn.
A lot of Brooklyn Finest shit's on Young G's, but I can see.
Brooklyn Finest, okay, it was never like the classic that people like to hype it up as to me.
Alright, so for you, Brooklyn's Finest ain't a classic. That's a no.
Right.
But for Pilot, yes or no, classic or not?
Brooklyn Finest, yeah, it's a classic.
Alright. Fucking with D.
It's tough. No, I don't. I'd say no. I like the hook and everything, but not. He goes off.
It's a good song, but yeah, it's not a classic song.
Damn. It's a classic for me, man. Fuck it. It's a yes for me. So So right now, 3 songs in, it's pretty much 2 classics apiece.
In one regular track, one
Yeah, a very good song, whatever. You got a skit.
There's Dead Presidents, right, for Jay.
Dead Presidents 2, yeah.
Well, 1 and 2 is classic to me. I'm biased.
Yeah. So yeah, classic.
It's a classic.
Both of them are classic.
DMX song, Look Through My Eyes.
That's classic.
Yeah, it's classic.
It's a classic song. Yeah.
It's not a classic to you?
It's a classic song. Yeah.
Okay. Nah, nigga, it's classic or nice, nigga. Which one?
Classic. Yeah, it's classic. It's classic.
All right, back to Jay-Z. Feeling It.
Personally, it's a classic. I don't know if it would be considered a classic.
The funny thing is, the Feeling has a fucked up story because this nigga Jay kind of stole some shit from Camp Lo. He stole the whole fucking song. Like Ski had that shit for Camp Lo, and he stole the whole fucking flow and everything on that shit. And the funny thing is too, the Camp Lo version of the song is better.
Yeah, I always felt that way, and it's crazy because I think Lucchini popped off that year, and that shit was big.
Yeah, it was.
So you stole. Yeah, I remember hearing that he stole that song from Camp Lo, right?
Well, he didn't steal Lucchini, but Feeling It he stole. Like I mean, Ski. I think Ski. He stole like everything like the hoof, like the type of flows that these two were using. Like it was like, geez, like because Jay never really kind of flowed like that after that. At least not as far as I know.
Yeah. I remember the video and shit. Like it's a chill track, but I never felt it as a classic. So I must say a no. It's not a classic to me. What about y'all?
I mean, it was a good song, but yeah, I don't think it's classic. The Camp Lo version was a classic.
I mean, to me, I love that song. I like getting fucked up and playing that song, but it's not a classic, renowned classic song.
Not a classic. All right, so Get At Me Dog. I already know that's classic.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah,
I remember
argument there.
Yeah, my high school pep rally, they played this goddamn song, and they played the uncensored version. Like, you heard all them niggas talking about, you niggas want to be killers, get at me, dog. Say 300 fucking students saying that shit out loud.
Everybody growling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy because I was in 9th grade when that song came out, and the pep rallies, just everybody. DMX, like, he brought just a new energy out of niggas. Like every few years, somebody comes and they just bring a new energy out of people. Like people was wearing goggles down here with that shit, and then the motorcycles, Rough Rider. DMX, bro, just like when Jeezy came through with the Snowman t-shirts and the band The Snowman, and everybody wanted to be a dope boy.
Lil Wayne's run was kind of crazy.
Yeah. But okay, anyways, back to Jay-Z, The Evils.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, that's my
classic.
I quoted that shit in my high school yearbook. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Snoop Dogg and the Prodigy or Mobb Deep sample of voices. That's fine. Great story.
Yeah. Primo put his foot in that song. That was a dope song.
Will be number 6. Would it be Let Me Fly or Give Me Death?
Yes, Let Me Fly.
Let Me Fly is classic.
Yeah, classic. Back to Jay-Z. 22 Twos. I gotta say this a classic.
It's okay. It's good. I don't.
It's because of his gimmick. It's got to be to me at least. It's got to be. Nobody did that before. So 22 Twos.
Yeah, like I don't know, like the whole like the vibe with the audience. Do I smell weed in there? Who's smoking?
Shut up, bitch! Shut up! Who told me shut the F up?
Get him out of here.
Yeah,
I gotta call this a classic. 22 Twos is a classic. I gotta call it a classic.
Risk goes kind of hard too, though. So that's a good one.
So Pat, the only one who said not a classic.
Yeah.
DMX, X is coming.
Hell yeah.
1, 2, that's coming for you.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's classic. Classic.
Hell, absolutely. Hell fucking yeah.
It's crazy because like y'all notice it. The DMX classics have like no discussion. They're like undisputed classics. But like a lot of Jay-Z songs, we always got like a Haney type of situation. You got one nigga's like, I don't know, man. Like the bars weren't right, or nah, I like how he took the beat from that session. Nah, Biggie had a cold that night. So next one, Jay-Z. Can I Live?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yes. Yeah, that was an Earth beat too, I think.
Is that the one with Bleak, or that's Can I Live too?
That's Can I Live too.
Yeah, it doesn't sound here. Can I Live is definitely a classic track.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Coming of Age. My bad. Yeah, Can I Live?
Yeah,
that's the sample.
Yeah, classic. Yeah.
What's my boy from the 70s? Oh, the chef. God damn, I can't forget his name. Isaac Hayes. Yeah, the Isaac Hayes sample. Yeah, legend.
Yeah, Can I Live is a classic. Next is, I mean, do I even gotta say Damien a classic?
Of course it is. Damien is a classic. Like I'm not like nigga, what?
Just like Chucky.
There's no hesitation. Ain't no nigga.
I mean, it is.
I don't know if it's a classic.
I mean, that shit. That was probably the song that probably got the most play from that album.
Well, yeah, I'll let y'all say it because y'all were outside back then. I was basically 7 years old.
Yeah, ain't no nigga is a classic. I mean, because the fucking like I
mean, it was the mainstream song for this album, but as far as like the cuts that I feel like were the bangers, the how we say the street singles, I would say was Can't Knock the Hustle and Brooklyn's Finest and Dead Presidents.
Yeah.
And then fucking Feeling It was an actual single with a video too.
Yeah, the video. Yeah, it's like a different version. The lyrics is all like edited and shit.
Yeah, and Ain't No Nigga too was also. It was also
that shit. I was down here in Miami.
Yeah, Foxy Brown up in the video.
Luke, Biggie
in the video. Big was in the video. Jazz.
Ain't no one else but me produced your first hit record. Oh man, them Jazzo diss songs. Oof. But yeah, so Ain't No Nigga. So I guess we could say it's a classic. We all agree it's a classic, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want to give it a classic.
Because I feel like it's a very good era song.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But hip hop was just the shit back then. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, you gotta remember, '96. You had, like, even from that sound, "Touch Me, Tease Me," like that was
shit. Yeah, '96. You had Aquemini, right? Shit.
Those. Like,
it's hard. Like, you gotta remember, classic has to match. You know what I mean? I feel like I'd say it's a classic though. Fuck it. Like, How's It Going Down? Classic.
Of course, classic. Well, one of the best. Classic. One of the best girl cuts to me. Lady cuts, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, like DMX. Like, I mean, all the shit on the album, like the dude actually. I mean, the dude. I mean, for him to actually write that shit, I was just like, considering all the other shit is like dark, like. Dude killed that whole song.
Yeah, it's a classic for sure.
And shout out to PK for making the beat. PK was so underutilized. Like him and Dame Grease really made that album. But it's just sad that Swiss Beats got all the fucking attention from that shit. Yeah, that shit never sat right with me at all.
I feel you. Jay-Z next is Friend or Foe.
State your bid. You tend to go. There it is. It's all right. I mean, I like the song.
Just watch it makes it a classic because you see the video, but it's not.
Was that part 2 though, right? Or was that part 1?
Nah, part 1. There's a video for both.
For both, yeah.
But I like Friend of Foe 2 better though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is accents and shit.
I don't know if it's considered a.
I mean, I like the song, but I don't think it's a
song, but it's not a classic.
Yeah.
It fits the theme of the album, the mafioso shit.
Yeah, but it's
like the whole album is like a lyrical, like, hey, look, I'm a drug dealer, but I like mafia type styles, but I got bars though. Like I want to be an MC so bad, like. And then for all you fuck niggas that's like you real young and you know, I was around when this album dropped. Like I remember listening to this, so it's like that's the vibe we had then. Like we're relating it from then, you know.
Right.
So, you know, it's not like I heard this shit last week and it's like, yo, you know that Jay-Z guy?
Yeah, exactly. Because
Beyonce husband dropped a classic.
Like, truthfully, most people didn't even know Reasonable Doubt existed until they went
until Volume 2 came out. Yeah, dude. In high school, there was dudes when like Hard Knock Life came out and the other songs he had, and I remember I was walking home, and dude had on, my friend had his headphones on, so I was like, "Yo, what you listening to?" And he was like, "Jay-Z." I was like, "Oh, word, which album?" And he was like, "His first album." So I looked at him, I was like, "Oh, so you listen to Reasonable Doubt?" He looked at me like, "The fuck you talking about?" Because I was like, "You said his first album." He's like, "Hold on, he got more than one album?" I was like, "Yeah, nigga." He's like, "Oh, nigga, I'm listening to Hard Knock Life. You know, the shit with Annie, bro." Like, I'm like, "Oh, damn." Like, I was like, "Wow." Like, okay.
I'm like, nigga, his volume. You said something like, nigga, do you see Volume 2 in the album?
I was like, "That's his third album." He's like, "Hold on, that's his third album? Like, where he been at?"
In New York, nigga. That's where he's at.
But that's how it. But at the same token, there's niggas down here who knew about Jay-Z and his song. You know, ain't no nigga was out here, so
it was.
So you know, not everyone. So that just lets you know that there's some people who they didn't get to him until their third album.
Yeah, because Lifetime Volume 2 that's what made him Jay-Z.
Yeah, and Volume 1 was helping going into that direction. It just ain't had the crossover songs like that. But we did what Can I Live? That's no.
We were at
Friend of Foe.
Coming of Age.
No, we were at Friend of. Oh no, now it's Coming of Age.
Yeah, now it's Coming of Age. Yeah, that one's not really classic. That one's whatever.
Yeah, it's a very good song.
Yeah, I mean Bleak. I mean Jay obviously wrote some classic bars for Bleak to spit on that one.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man. Yeah, I used to have this dude I do back in high school who was a Bleak fan, and like this nigga used to ride super hard for Bleak. Like you couldn't say nothing bad about Bleak.
What the hell? You knew about Memphis Bleak stands?
Dude was from Brooklyn.
Yo, Memphis Bleak had a following for whatever reason.
Yeah, Memphis Bleak had a following, like real shit. I know some of y'all niggas think that's weird, like. But
I remember that one song, "Infatuated." You know, the girl cut. That's about it.
I mean, fucking Coming of Age was actually anticipated. Like that. This ain't no bullshit.
Damn, we gonna have to do a retro review for that because niggas is sleeping on Bleak now. Like
it's all right. Meth Bleak is, you know, that shit was popping.
Yeah.
Like, my mind right. Like, that's understanding. Yeah, yo.
Get my mind right, money right, ready for more.
Yeah, like yeah. He
Bleak got some bangers
too. He said that same bullshit in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Bleak killed that movie though. Like he was like the best part of that.
Yeah, because they had him spit because he couldn't act, so they're like, "Yo, just spit some bars, bro." Like that's literally why you got.
But the thing is, it's like the energy Memphis Bleak had in that movie though. Like I wish he would have took acting more serious after that or some shit. Like,
hey, my nigga, Memphis Bleak got some commercials though. He had some shampoo commercials.
Yeah, I ignore those commercials. He did some some old bullshit.
But I mean, but as long as Hov is alive, he's a millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in his will somewhere.
So I guess he can sit back and chill somewhere. Bars. Fucking alright. So we did. So Coming of Age is not a fucking classic.
We didn't do Crime Story for DMX.
That's
Oh,
not a
Crime
classic.
Story. That's not a classic though.
That's
No, that's not a classic. I like the song, but it's not classic.
All right, my bad, because I'm looking off a damn DMX playlist off the fucking the YouTube.
And then next, I think the coming of it's Cashmere Thoughts.
Hold on, did we skip a DMX? We got to do another DMX one to make up for it.
Yeah, Stop Being Greedy is the next
Classic.
one. That is
That's
classic.
a classic, yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. All right, so back to Jay-Z, Cashmere Thoughts. That's not a classic.
No, that's not a classic.
Back to DMX, ATF, boom, boom, boom. Open.
Yes, it is. I love that fucking song.
It's alright. It's not a classic to me, but it's a cool song.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Dude, oh my goodness, bro. Like, why isn't it a classic?
It's not one of the, to me. It's not. There's better songs on the album to me because I mean I know because we talked about this album before, and the next song I think, well, a couple songs after you didn't like. I Can Feel It's my favorite track on it.
Oh wow, shit, yeah.
I think that's the kind of
I might be a weird nigga on that one though. Like how there's sometimes you just be that off nigga in certain situations. Like I could feel it. I'd never felt that song. Like
I don't know. I thought it was spin tough on that. And I like.
I mean, he was spitting, but it just ain't like the growing up. I heard the original so much, so it's like it's one of those songs that I just can't see being redone again. Like I don't think if somebody was to come up with the Check Yourself song beat or something again, like I'd just be so tired of it right now.
Right.
Because I done lived through it like 3-4 times in the era, like before I think I was even grown. Like, so it's like certain songs just. So that's why I Can't Feel It. Yeah, but yeah, Stop Being so. ATF, you're the only nigga who don't feel. Wow.
It's a good song.
Wow, that's just classic. That's a classic amp song. It's a classic album cut. Like, just to go through an album and that song comes on, it's like, oh shit.
Yes, sir.
Damn, my pops fucking love that song. Like, nigga, we used to jam this album in the car all the time. Oh wow, okay, so you gotta be the odd man, weird nigga. Then, Bring It On. Is that a classic?
I love that. I love Bring It On.
Classic. Yeah.
Honestly, Sauce Money.
Yeah, I always feel like Sauce Money murked this shit.
Sauce Money goes hard. This one of Jay-Z's. I like Jay-Z's verse on that a lot too.
Everybody had a dope verse, but I feel like Jazzo had the best verse. It's just I think his flow and cadence, his voice.
Meanwhile, I think Sauce Money was spinning some like straight bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all went in crazy. That's a classic to me.
This classic because I've had people tell me who's had classic verses on who's had the best verse, and I've heard different people say different people. Like I've heard people that say Sauce Money had the best verse on this. I've heard people say Jay-Z had the best verse, and I've heard people that say Jazzo had the best verse.
Yeah, Mannerisms of Young Bobby De Niro. No, the whole
he killed that shit. Yeah. Makes feelings like mulattoes.
Turn away and Tony Kimanolo. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Sauce Money was one of the rappers that honestly, dude was hanging with Jay on a lot of them joints. Like Sauce Money was crazy. He was a crazy spitter. But that his debut album, Middle Finger You, was not it.
Yeah, it
showed that he wasn't an album artist, and that's unfortunate because dude dude fucking wrote Puff's biggest hit and shit like that. Like dude got money off. Dude probably got more money off that doing that one song they did and doing any other song in his career combined.
Now you know what I'll tell you the honest truth about the Sauce Money album, the Middle Finger You, and the irony of the album is it's stuffed. It's bloated. It's overweight. It's too big.
Wait, what track you talking about?
I'm talking about the Sauce Money album, and I'm thinking irony because Sauce Money appearance is—he's a big dude. I'm not just trying to.
Funny thing is too, after he got the puffy money and everything like that, dude got obese. Like dude was always like he was a big guy. He's like
he got OBI.
But dude is obese. He's
crazy. Yeah.
Was that him on Reservoir Dogs too?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah,
Yeah, he
And
bought
see-
that shit, man.
and that's the thing. Like, if somebody would have sat that album down and took about 5 or 6 songs off of it, he would have had a crazy fire album.
Yeah,
It
because
too many
the Jay
mediocre
joints on there.
songs.
Yeah, because the Jay-Z joints on there, Face Off 2000 and Pregame are fucking classic.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
the
good.
Intruder Alert, the Primo song. They had a few other joints that was cool.
Even the Bleak joint was kind of funny because they were spending all this hard shit over the fucking sultry ass beat and shit. I was like, yo, this shit didn't fit, but it worked.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you had in the way the cuts are on the album, they're so spaced out and shit. Like, the album had too many fucking songs, and then it was just too many mediocre songs. Like, when you have an album and it's like 18, 20 songs, whatever.
Yeah, shit was over an hour.
Yeah, those songs gotta be fire. So that's the one thing with that album. But so yeah, we all agree Bring It On is
Classic, yeah.
classic
Yeah.
of various classic verses.
Right.
I mean, the production, the sound, yeah, that was
Scratches,
weird.
all of that shit.
Yeah, that's fine.
He said, I don't know who this. What's that shit Jazzo was spitting on there? Fucking me with this manana, absent the malice in my palace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was spending some other shit on there.
John Stockton couldn't assist you.
Yeah, John Stockton could have said, yeah, I was flipping out when he said that shit.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, back then the posse cuts
Hype with
were
the crystals.
yeah. Back then, almost every East Coast album had some class, damn near classic posse cut on there. Way back.
Nah, that's 3 people. That a posse cut, you need at least 4.
Three, 4?
Yeah, posse cut, you need at least 4 people, right?
Yeah, say 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
4.
3 or 4. I mean, 3 is.
Nah, 3 ain't no posse cut. 3 is like just 3 MCs.
3 verses. Yeah, 4.
Yeah. But 4, you're like, oh shit, like 4 is like the driver started rapping too or some shit. Like the extra, like security was like, hold on, nigga, I gotta work.
Remind me of that concert shit that Jay did, when he had the Muslim cat joining into that cipher and was spitting righteous bars and shit.
Yeah,
It killed that shit too. Speaking of posse cuts, yeah, that's the next joint off the DMX, For My Dogs.
Is that a classic or a very good song?
It's a
I
very
think it's
good
a very
song.
good song.
Which one?
Yeah,
From my
we-
dogs?
we-
Yeah,
we-
it's not a
we-
classic track. It's not a classic track, but it's a good song.
I mean, it served its purpose. It introduced new niggas, especially Dragon, to the masses.
And I like how the album's classic in a sense where he had he put his niggas on and then he put his peers.
Right.
So he gave you 2 posse cuts. So that's mad respect because not too many people do that.
Right.
And so okay, back to Jay-Z. Regrets.
I think it's classic.
See, it's weird to me. Like again, I'm a Hov stan. I didn't find. I mean, it's a good song, but a lot of people say it's classic. So I'm gonna say it's classic, but I never really found that song personally for me.
Nah, it's not a classic to me. Like, it's what you feel, nigga. Is it a
No,
classic?
but I'm saying I've heard many people say even Pat right there. So I mean,
I think it's classic.
I've heard a lot of people say it, even if to me,
But that can't be your reason. It's classic, nigga.
it was Pat's reason for the Rough Riders anthem. He didn't like the track.
No, I've never liked that track.
Undeniable classic, nigga. Like,
But like I said, I always say before, I hated the Rough Riders anthem. I hated the beat. I hated the fact that Swiss Beats. I mean, DMX still killed that shit too. And fucking DMX didn't even like that beat himself, but he kind of got persuaded to rhyme.
yeah, that's true. I heard that.
Yeah, but it blew up, and that's why Swiss Beats has a career. It's the truth.
But okay, so Pilot, is Regrets to you a classic? Yes or no?
Yes, it's a classic.
It's a classic. This shit trash. Nah, it's not trash. It's not a fucking classic though. It's a very good song. Or a good song. I can feel it.
It's my favorite track on the album, so that's a classic to me.
I'm on the fence with it. I mean, I like this track, but I don't think it was classic.
I don't think it's classic. So okay, so it's 2-1 then. All right, and we could just finish up with DMX.
I mean, unless you want to go into the bonus tracks of Reasonable Doubt, like.
Yeah.
What was the bonus track on Reasonable Doubt again?
I mean, there was Dead or Alive Part 1 and fucking Can't Knock the Hustle remix with Melissa Morgan.
Yeah, that was kind of
Yeah, no.
And then Can I Live 2 with Bleak.
Can I Live 2, yeah.
We'll keep Can I Live 2 with Bleak, and that's it.
Like, personally, I actually like the Can't Knock the Hustle remix with Melissa Morgan. That was always one of my favorite remixes.
But yeah, okay. So are those songs classic then to you?
No, they're not classic. I just like them.
There you go. We just knocked them all out the park. Okay, DMX Prayer Skit. Since I should have like said in a rapping way, almost kind of, but like it's a song for God, but not us. But we enjoyed it. It's a classic.
Yeah. I mean, it served the purpose. I didn't think it was.
Served the purpose. But nah, it's a skit, so we're not gonna count it.
Yeah.
So the Convo. I feel like the Convo is a classic.
Yeah. So the same here.
Yeah, that's a classic.
And
that Bee Gees sample kind of hit, because I always thought Bee Gees was always underrated. So I'm surprised they're not really sampled more, but.
And niggas done started something.
Is an absolute classic.
Absolute classic. Top 10 posse cut classic.
Yeah.
So my whole point in this exercise was, even though if you include the bonus tracks with Jay-Z album, even if you don't, DMX just had way more classic songs than Reasonable Doubt. Reasonable Doubt had a lot of, how would I would say, Nostradamus style classics.
No. Calm down, bro. Calm down.
No.
I had to make sure y'all niggas was still paying attention.
Nah, you have to calm down with that.
Nah, hold on. No. So I'm gonna explain why I say that.
I'm gonna still gotta tell you to calm down even after you do.
Nah. I'm gonna still explain it though. I said it because, and I guess Nostradamus is the word for disputed around here, because at least with Jay-Z had classic songs on his album, no doubt. But he maybe had like a handful of classics that we all agreed on were like universal classics. With all them DMX songs, we was like we weren't even discussing this classic. And there's other people who would just agree with us the same way, classic. With the Jay-Z songs, it's, man, I don't know, man. This is very good. So even if you just take the 14 songs Jay-Z had and just picked any 14 songs off of DMX's first album, I bet you DMX has more fucking classic songs. And that was my only point. Like Reasonable Doubt, it's a very good album overall, man. Like, it don't stand next to DMX as a true classic. Like, it's a classic in the after sense that a nigga went on a marketing and propaganda tour to
sure did
a brainwash. It worked.
Sure
brainwash.
Yeah, like, dude,
and you see it work to an extent, but look what happens when you compare it to a real hip hop classic.
The other thing,
you ever do that shit for Volume 1? That's for
do you guys consider Volume 1 or Blueprint classic?
Blueprint, I think is a classic.
I think
it's more so of a classic.
I actually don't think Blueprint is the classic, but that's just my opinion.
I think it's more of a classic than Reasonable Doubt, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, culturally, because it came out September, right? You know that. Yeah. I mean,
nigga, just the songs like.
That album. Like, I mean, personally, I'm a whole fan, so yeah, they're both classic too. But I'm just wondering.
And honestly, to be honest, I probably listened to Volume 1 more than Reasonable Doubt.
Well, I think Volume 1 might have had some of his highest highs, you know, like Lucky.
And his lowest low.
Yeah, where I'm from.
It's Nostradamus' album. Like, I don't know what it is with these niggas in these highest highs, lowest lows album, but I'm a Jermaine Taylor fan, so it kind of explains certain shit.
But Volume 1 was like, with the exception of like maybe 2 songs in there was like fire. But like I said, Volume 3 I actually think is worse. But I mean, that if you want to compare Nostradamus level album, that was Nostradamus level right there.
See, and I fuck with Volume 3. Like, do you believe? Like, I fucks with Volume 3. Like, we could fucking do the review for that shit. Like, I'll ride for a Volume 3 album. That shit was dope. Like, I guess it's Nostradamus, but yeah, Reasonable Doubt was dope. I feel it's very good. It got a few classics, but like I don't think it has enough in the overall impact. I don't think it was a classic. Like, at least Blueprint had the impact to go with it being a great album. Reasonable Doubt is like just a very good album, man. Like, if that
Jay was rapping tough on that album. I think
he was, but you could rap tough and just still make a bunch of very good songs.
So is it because of impact? Because I mean, classic. So the impact definitely plays a huge role in terms of like
it's not the only thing though. Like,
is Aquemini? I think that came out the same year in '96. Is Aquemini a classic?
Oh yeah,
of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a fucking classic. Yeah, shit, that's a classic 2 times over. Like, but see, this thing, we take it like impact matters for a classic, but it doesn't. It's not the end all be all. You could have like a slow burner classic that just so many other shit was going on that year, or it didn't have a song that caught on. But you can have a classic like that. But Reasonable Doubt, it just was a very good album that dropped in a year full of classics and other very good albums. And look, we just went song by song and compared it to another album that was a true classic. And we're all, how many times the three of us was like, yeah, that's classic. Yeah, next classic. With Jay-Z, we up here having discussions like, man, this shit, yeah, this, that. I mean, you know, it's like, honestly, man, it's a very good album. Like,
yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Reasonable Doubt is classic, but DMX is a real classic.
I like how you did that. See, there you go. See, there it is. Yeah, I like that. You got real classics and you got classics. Mm-hmm. Like, this was the Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt's a classic in the sense that, it's classic for his era. If I tell you to respect it enough, a real classic. No one had to tell you anything. The music told you.
Yeah, and niggas were biting off crazy. Try buy off his style too.
Yeah, that too. Like, you know, like no one did a better DMX album than DMX.
Yeah,
right. Because like I said, in '98, DMX ran '98. Jay did not run '96 at all.
Nah.
Yeah, no,
good album of his. Oh, but I know a Jay-Z stan hating me right now, which is crazy because it's like Jay-Z around this time was like fire. Like, if you didn't grow up around this time listening to Jay-Z at his peak, you wouldn't be so disappointed in him like the last 10 years.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's the Jay-Z I know. Like, when people talk about Jay, I'm like Jay-Z all the way up to like maybe the Black Album.
The Black Album I can never listen to again, and that's because, like I said, it's because of how disappointed I was about what wasn't on the album.
Yeah. But he was getting tough on that. And some people call that a classic. I don't feel like that's a classic.
Nah. American Gangster was probably his last classic album to me. That's
a dope ass album.
Yeah. See, and I don't think that's like, honestly, I feel like Reasonable Doubt and it is closer to a classic than American Gangster. But I feel like
you have to remember, 2007 wasn't like niggas were actually spending 20 in 2007. Niggas were spending some garbage. American Gangster came out of nowhere. Yeah, I think because this one had Puff involvement. Puff was like
Puff executive produced it.
Yeah, so Puff, say what you. I mean, Puff shouldn't be rapping, but he does have an ear for production. to a degree.
Most of the time.
And then this one was probably that was it. Like he killed. But
This nigga didn't want the damn kick in the door beat, so like.
Yeah, I mean, Puff hated the hardcore beats. Puff, like, you know, if he was in the club, he heard Diana Ross, this nigga would be like, yo, I gotta get.
Man, he a fucking dancer. Of course, he gonna like the little dancey Diana Ross.
Yeah, you know.
He ain't gonna know no real 808s, real scratches, and no real hip hop.
Yeah, he didn't. Like if he couldn't do his puffy dance or do what the fuck he does, he was like, nah.
You can't pop lock to fucking damn Machine Gun Funk. You think this nigga gonna be busting out dancing like he was in that fucking Father MC video to fucking damn Unbelievable?
Yeah, nigga was in Stacey Lassaw videos too. Nigga was doing all types of shit in that shit. Ducky Fresh videos. Yeah, Puff has been around for a hot minute. Yeah. You know, but yeah, like his production, but however, his contributions for American Gangster, like those, like thumbs up. But the J albums after that one, they got, Yeah, I think probably the only ones I listened to, I think, was the shit they did with Kanye. You know, when Niggas in Paris was like a huge club hit for whatever reason. Although I got used to it.
I ain't like that album either. Like I was just
I mean, it definitely wasn't better than the R. Kelly album, or at least the best of both worlds.
I don't think so either. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's like some of this shit you just had to be there, like that best of both. That shit was fire when that shit. Nah, like that wasn't that shit. When you first heard it, you was like, "Oh shit!" Like, hold on, like.
Yeah, you're not lying. That's why I'm laughing.
But I ain't get that, you know, from the damn Kanye shit.
Yeah,
Kanye was putting his foot in Jay ass on them songs, though. Yeah,
this is when Jay was kind of like he was like he was in like lazy J mode, and Kanye was actually his ghostwriters was giving
struggle him J mode. That wasn't lazy. That was like I can't keep up mode.
Right. Yeah. And Blueprint 3 was just like
trash.
Magna Carta, Holy Grail, like
ultra trash.
Yeah, and then 4.
Damn, hold on, we ain't gotta do all this. Like we know all these trash ass J albums, man. I think we set out to do what we had to do.
Right. Yeah, like honestly, but if you guys actually want us to go, give us our give opinions on all
any suggestions, throw them in the comment, wherever.
Trust me.
What other albums y'all want to match up against, or what other classics? Because enough people been brainwashed to call Reasonable Doubt a classic, so we matched it up, and it's a debut album. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't call it a classic, it's still a very good debut album. So,
but we definitely want to hear. And if you take offense to whatever me or Pilot or LB said, say that shit in the comments. Like we want to hear that.
Yeah, I hope I explain myself thoroughly on shit. Like, if not, then say what you got to fucking say then.
Yeah.
but the votes speak for themselves, though. Mm-hmm. The votes reflect the thoughts, basically what we had on here. Like the 30% that had to be some diehard J stands, though.
Right.
Like seriously.
Hey, I'm literally a J stan. Jay's the GOAT to me, and I picked that DMX album. So.
It's you.
But I honestly, I do listen to Reasonable Doubt more this day and age. I still listen to Reasonable. Like Pat said, it aged good, to me.
Yeah,
I still listen to Dark and Hell Is Hot.
I listen to both. Yeah, both.
I haven't listened to Reasonable Doubt in a while. I probably listened to damn Volume 1 more recently. A million, boom, 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 boom.
Volume 1 was just dope. I mean, unfortunately, like I said, Volume 1 just suffers from, the one video that keeps getting mentioned because it was a good song but a horrible video.
I probably listened to Volume 1 more than I listened to DMX second album, but I listened to DMX first album more than Jay-Z first album. Mm-hmm. It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, the second album, that'll probably forget for another time. The second DMX, it was rushed. You could tell it was rushed up, but it did have some gems though on it.
I mean, it still ended up being good though.
Yeah, I mean, the third album kind of restored the feelings, but the second one was just like it was still writing "It's Dark Until It's Hot," so it's like, yeah, and that's why it sold so damn much.
Yeah. So other than that, I think we kind of did what we set out to do.
We did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope Henny guy's not gonna like what we said about this J album. I'm sure he's gonna.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like,
Shout out to Henny God though. He still fucks.
yeah, of course. Shout out to Henny God, but you know, it's just if we all agree that both albums are classic, then we have to agree that there's levels to classics,
Right.
and if we take the argument there, then DMX first album is a classic that's on a higher level than Jay-Z first album.
She was. Absolutely.
And to the 30% that disagree, and hey, it is what it is, man. I don't know what to say, because if you go song for song, you're gonna get more classic DMX songs than you're gonna get classic Jay-Z songs.
Word.
It's just that's why that's like the only way you could really break these arguments, if you go song by song. If you don't, you end up with just a feel for an album, but you didn't really dig deep. It's just like boxing, score round each round.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can do.
Damn, no, yo, he got slick. Nah, this nigga came back.
What do you say? What does the emoji say? I can't see it.
Like he ice grilling us. I don't know. It's like a blue mean face or some shit.
Oh, then the blue. Okay, word up.
He probably heard all the shit you were saying, nigga. So
I mean, it's a very good album, sir.
It's a classic. Don't worry, it's a classic. Kenny got it.
Yeah, you know, I won't argue it's a classic. Although I did argue it's not a classic, but you know,
well, like our boy King P would say, not all classics are created equal.
yeah. He's right. But yeah, like, I know I was about to say I wouldn't argue it, but like, nigga, you just argued this shit for like
argued it for a good 30-40 minutes.
But okay, on some real shit, like if we was in real person and this wasn't my podcast and we just vibing in real life, I wouldn't be like, nah, nigga, you out your damn mind. That's a classic. I wouldn't argue with you in real life if you said Reasonable Doubt a classic. Like, it's a good enough album where it kind of sneaks in the door and the door shuts and it cuts off the tail of the lizard or some shit. Like, it's that type of classic. Like, and we all, the other classics like Illmatic and It's Dark as Hell is Hot and West Side Connection and all the shit. They'll be in the room chilling and be like, all right, you in? Okay, come, it's cool. You come in here. You got in, right? That's that type of classic. But remember, that's the last classic to come into the room. The other classics were in there. So that kind of makes sense in the most respectful way.
Of course. Oh man, but
now it's cold. Oh.
Hey man, sometimes sometimes shit does get cold, man. Some
Now I'm talking about his comment, not. I was reading his comment. I wasn't trying to like say some cold shit.
But it ended up being cold shit.
Damn, yeah. I'm gonna just stop.
Oh man, but yeah, I think
Jay-Z gonna send the Armandale bottle at my house or some shit with arsenic or something. I don't know, man.
Oh man, but yeah, I think we hit both albums, you know, pretty hard, in terms of comparing them and talking about them and talking about the poll results and everything like that. So yeah, man, like I said, any future albums or anything you want us to talk about, make sure you put it in those comments when we post this on YouTube. But I think we've come to the end of our show for tonight. Let's see, Pilot, do you have any final thoughts?
You know what it is, Ranking Radio, all day, every day, 24/7, 365, and sometimes 366 on a leap year, but
Yes, sir.
ringingradio.com, every platform imaginable, and shouts out to everybody, the whole crew, and that's what it is.
Yes, sir. LB, what about you?
Oh man, just shout out to everybody, everybody tuning in on Podomatic around the world. Just everybody just keep listening, keep looking out for new content. Just stay dropping shit. Follow us on the TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of that shit. Soul Wars, Ring Gang Radio, you know what I mean? ringgangradio.com. Hit up the website. There's big shit popping. Shout out to the rest of the squad. Clanarchy, DZ, Ring Gang TV, Rome Top 5,
PJ the Fight Architect.
PJ the Fight Architect. There's a lot of niggas, man. I'm telling you, like, I don't know how Wu-Tang did it all them years. But yeah, and just love the hip hop talk. Y'all make sure y'all just check this out and drop your comments and share this shit, man. Like, ain't no one bringing no discussions like this. Yeah, we give you boxing, but like the magic's in the hip hop talk, and it's been a while. We ain't do one of these in a while, but feel bad King P ain't here. Damn, like
yeah, I know it's unfortunate. You know, like I said, you know, health is wealth, man. So he's gotta, you know, like I said, you know, unfortunately, you know, he wouldn't have been able to talk, you know, if he did join. So it's like, you know, it's kind of a thing with podcasts. You got to be able to talk.
Yeah. He gonna have to interact in the comment. You have to listen to this shit and comment, like if he agree or something.
Yeah, I know he's probably gonna say for you, like, nigga, what did you just say?
I mean, I be saying some crazy shit, but I be having some method to my madness. I be explaining it though. Like, I don't never give you no bullshit explanation. Like, I at least try to make sense of it, and you know, it makes more sense when I'm speaking on the boxing though, with certain crazy takes, because it comes into predictions and upsets. Whereas hip hop, it's like you're not gonna get an upset with a fucking take on hip hop. You're not gonna one day let's listen to a bar and be like, oh shit, like this nigga LB was right, like this nigga garbage, like it don't happen like that. So you know, but the more you listen to us, the more you'll get familiar with our different tastes and outlooks and shit. You know what it is, gang.
Absolutely.
Pat, take it away.
Yeah, man. I don't have anything much to add on other than, you know, like I said, sub to everything, especially our webpage and our YouTube channel. Sub and then tell your friends about us so they can sub, so you know, so we can all be friends, man. So like I said, we do this shit for y'all. You know, if you're feeling generous, you really want to hit something, you know, you can, you know, we have a PayPal, we have a couple things you can hit if you want to, you know, if you want to really
get the donations up.
Donations up. If you really, especially if you want us to really talk about a specific kind of topic, we cater to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just the donations will make it a lot easier. you know, so
really spin. If you like the crazy shit I be saying, then you know, wait till you drop something in the donations. You know,
exactly. Yeah. So for myself, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative, for LB Shuttleworth, the God, the Go artist, and for Conscious Pilot, you know, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk. Where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.